Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about my little EDC pouches and the system that I use for my IFAKs and my trauma kits, and some little survival pouch too. First off, these are really good to have because instead of basically keeping everything in your backpack, like, you know, all spread out all around here and different things all over the place, and you know, you have this here and this there or whatever. I keep the essential stuff in this thing, and I just grab this out, and this is what I have. The cool thing about this little pouch, this is Vanquest edcm Huge. It's the biggest one they have. It's also the newest pouch they make. Has these little locks on there, so you can even lock this if you needed to. It's got a nice little handle, and it's got Molly on the back, so you can hook it to something if you need to. Opening it up, I keep a lot of stuff that I'm going to use every day, and maybe some survival kind of items, just in a pinch kind of items, I guess you could say. Not really survival, but a lot of this stuff I use a lot. So starting over here, you have a Pilot G2, a Sharpie, back behind here. Right here you have a Burt's Bees with about 12 feet of Gorilla Tape. And as you can see, these are the locks that I use. These are just backup ones, just in case I need to lock this one or another part of my bag. I have 4 of these. So here you got a little mini Bic lighter with more Gorilla Tape wrapped around it. A little life hack for you. You can still unravel the tape and it'll still stick real well. Tire pressure gauge for doing pre-checks for your tractors and CDL stuff. If you have a commercial license, you gotta do pre-checks. You want to check your tire gauges, whatever. Write in the Rain notepad, flattened out Gorilla Tape, and some alcohol prep pads or disinfectant pads. I have some sunscreen. You know, summer out, so it gets a little hot and sunburn sucks. I forget what these keys are called exactly, but they'll open up. I forget what kind of lock it's called too. I always never really remember that, but it's a certain kind of lock. It's the most popular kind you can get, and it has the zigzag. It has to be the lock with the zigzag. See how this is like kind of straight? The lock will, where the key goes in, will be like zigzaggy. I never tried to see if they'll open these, but they might. So this is kind of like an entry area, like with this and the pry bar. Not that I'm doing anything illegal. Little disclaimer: this is just for an emergency situational stuff. Any illegal activity I'm not promoting or any kind of way. Just saying. This is a Leatherman Wingman. Excuse me. Just getting over a little cold, so. Leatherman Wingman, backup multi-tool. For when I don't have my main multi-tool on me, because I don't carry it during the weekends. I usually only carry that at work, so if I have my bag around or whatever, then this is, you know, this is the multi-tool I'll use if I don't have my main one with me, which is a Leatherman Surge. We'll show you that in a minute. Here I have an Anchor power cord for my Samsung phone. It's my main phone charger. I love this thing because it's so well made that it just never gets loose in your phone. It charges the phone well. And this is also my main phone charger, which is also Anchor. It's your 5,000 megahertz. It's got dual plug. You can charge you can charge like an iPad with it and a phone fully before this thing dies, and then you can also plug it into the wall if you need to. It's very has a lot of different uses for it. Excuse me, my God. A couple Glock tools here. They're from Squirrel Daddy. They work really. You know, that's basically all you need to take apart a Glock. The sights and a punch tool. Gorilla Glue. This is your multi-tool for the Leatherman Surge. This is the backup diamond blade and file, more glue. And these slots back here, I don't keep anything. I think in this one I have some batteries, AAA. I have a couple things floating around my bag that may need AAA batteries. My headlamp for one, which I don't even think is in there anymore. I think that's in the car, but you know. Back in this zipper pouch part back here, I keep mainly like a first aid kit, but it's like more like an individual boo-boo kit kind of deal. So you're gonna have all your, like, you know, you got some medical tape here, Neosporin, cleansing towels, alcohol prep pads, new skin, there's some wound seal in there, diarrhea pills, band-aids, you know, boo-boo kit kind of thing. Here's a pair of tweezers. I keep a SWAT tourniquet in there for some heavier kind of damage stuff, if you need a tourniquet, or it'll double as a compression bandage if you need to, and then some medical scissors. Or just, you know, mainly they're not really medical shears, but they're just, you know, they'll work. And they're small, so I like to keep them in there. We'll put that stuff, but that's really it for the Vanquest edcm Huge. That's basically my main toolkit that I use and bring with me everywhere. It's always in my backpack. And it's good to just have all that stuff handy if you need it to. Now this is a little pack. I'll just go on to this one next. This is from Maxpedition. I forget what it's called. But this stays in my car at all times. So basically, if, I don't know, your car breaks down, it's middle of winter or whatever, this is what you have. This is going to have, I don't like to have all this stuff in my bag because this is stuff I'll probably never use. This is an emergency situation kind of thing. But it is the one pouch that I will grab in a pinch. It's the one that I want to have. It's the one that I'll grab out of the car. If I have to leave and ditch the car, I'll grab this. If not anything else, this is the one that's coming with me because it has just so many different things in it that for a survival situation. On the back, you'll notice a CRKT minimalist neck knife. So I can either keep it in there like that. If it was a survival situation or whatever, I'd probably just take it off here and put it on my neck. But it's a CRKT minimalist, really cool knife, really lightweight. It just kind of snaps in this little plastic holster, and I put it in the back there, and just so I don't lose it, it stays with this kit. Opening it up, you'll see, you know, I have it pretty much loaded out for what I think I may need in for my surroundings. You got a little buck knife here, just an emergency buck knife. It's a slip joint, so you gotta be careful with slip joint knives. I'm not a big fan of them, but you know, it's there just in case I need to, you know, make some tinder or something like that. You got a whistle, some tops. Comes with any tops knife you buy, really. Here you'll have a ferrocerium rod, little mini one from UTS. You get these at Walmart for like $4, guys, and they come with a nice big stick. They work well, and you know, you're never really going to use this thing, so it's just good to have in a kit like this, a small little way to make fire in case, you know, you don't have a lighter, or for some reason it's super windy out or whatever. You know, a little pry tool, you know, in case you need that for whatever reason. Over here you're gonna see a couple different things, and this is all for fire stuff. Not this, but this here is a card survival tool wallet. It's got a ruler, it's got some paracord, it's got a little knife on it if you need to, it's got some different items on it, a little bottle opener, and a ruler, all kinds of different things you can use with this. I keep some tinfoil in there too, and the use for tinfoil in a survival situation can have many different uses. One of the main ones I would say is starting fires on wet ground. You open that up, put your tinder or whatever you have. In my case, I keep some cotton balls that are drenched in Vaseline, because when you drench them in Vaseline, as opposed to a regular cotton ball that'll only burn for like 10 seconds or whatever, these will burn for like 12 minutes. So, you know, you can put a cotton ball on some tin foil, strike it with the striker, or I have the Bic lighter, and you have your way to start fire. And with tin foil you can make a cup, fill water, use for a bunch of different things. So tin foil is always good to have in a little survival pack, like little pouch like this. And this is more like urban stuff, guys. I live in the city, so I don't really have a lot of uses for, you know, wooded area things. A lot of stuff, if there was a situation, I'd probably just like plan on scavenging or whatever. But this will work to get me out of a pinch if I need to. Mainly reason why this stays in my car is for if I break down or something like that in the middle of nowhere, and, you know, I need to survive the night or something. Over here you're going to see some medical stuff slash, you know, maybe some, I got a little mini multi-tool. It's not the best multi-tool, but it has a really good pair of pry things on it, and then obviously you have, you know, a pry tool, a screwdriver, flathead, you know, stuff like that. This is from Stanley. I've had this thing forever. It's not the greatest, but, you know, them pliers are really good. They're spring loaded. So you got a Bic lighter. Back on this side, I have more flattened Gorilla Tape. There's a bunch of it in there, and that stays in this little plastic thing. And then a Ziploc bag. Then I have an emergency blanket. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff in there that you would need in a pinch, that if you didn't have, you know, you'd be probably screwed. And just having this little pouch increases your chances of survival by, I'd say probably 75% at least, maybe more. Alright, well, I'll fight that in a minute. Probably have to clear some of the stuff out of the front to get it back in there. This little pouch here is not really loaded out yet, but this is another maxpedition one, and it's not, excuse me, as big as the other one. It's a little bit smaller, and this one's like more or less like an IFAK, and I just keep a bunch of gauze in there, more wound seal, some more medical scissors, band-aids, and I don't really have this loaded out at the current moment, but you know, all the gauze is getting all unloaded all over the place in here because it's not in anything, but I have to take care of that. But yeah, this is just I haven't decided how I'm gonna load this out yet or what, so it's just kind of messing around with it for now. But I think I'm gonna use it for an IFAK, individual first aid kit, instead of having it all stuffed in this little plastic baggie like I showed you. So what I'm thinking is, instead of having all of this in there taking up so much room and making this like this huge big fat thing, I'm probably just gonna put everything in here, and you know, we'll see. But for now, that's what I'm doing. Now this kit here, this is really cool. This is a trauma kit. This is from Vanquest. This is the Fat Pack. I believe it's the 5x something. I'm not sure the exact dimensions. Maybe 7x8. Not 100% sure. This is fully loaded out with trauma gear, massive hemorrhaging and bleeding. The cool thing about this, I'll show you in a minute, but it's also made out of all the same good materials. It's got the new Molly Air on the front. It's got Molly on the back, so you can, you know, strap it to your body or whatever. My plan with this, to make this bag out of, if there was a survival situation, and I showed this in my other video, is what I would do is I would molly both of these to the bag in some way, shape, or form, probably like this, or maybe keep this heavy one maybe up top or whatever, some way, because I have the molly sticks inside the bag, and then because this one always stays in the bag and this is in the car, so I would just, you know, survival situation or bug out situation, mount all these to the bag, have a bunch of room inside the bag for food, gear, or other gear or whatever. Anyway, going into this trauma kit here, first thing you'll see on the side here is medical shears. And then on the other side I keep a cat tourniquet, Gen 7. So this is from Skinny Medic. Actually, I got a lot of gear inside here from Skinny Medic or North American Rescue. I would stay away from Amazon from buying cat tourniquets. A lot of times they're going to be fake most of the times, and they won't work. I mean, a couple twists on this thing and it's cutting off circulation and clogging up that artery. Whereas, you know, the fake ones, you'll be spinning that thing for 20 minutes and that's not good. So you want to make sure if you're going to have a tourniquet that it's a good one from a reputable place, and you want to make sure you know how to use it. You know, watch some videos, do whatever you got to do, practice on yourself. You know, obviously don't cut off your circulation for long periods of time, but you know, make sure you know how to use it and use it properly, and you know, engage in training yourself if you're going to carry a trauma kit. I recommend that anybody who carries a firearm at any time, if you carry a gun, you should carry a trauma kit. That's just my simple logic to that. If you go to the shooting range, you should have a trauma kit with you in the shooting range. Accidents happen. I mean, you can't rely on everybody to be as smart as you and safe with firearms. So if you're going to go to the shooting range, if you just throw one in your range bag, even if it's just a tourniquet and a couple things of gauze, that's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Accidents happen, and if you have the power to take a life, you got the power to save a life. So going into this trauma kit, what's cool about this is it's deployable by one hand. So you can either, how rude, that's going to happen again, so give me 1 second. Alright, so the cool thing about this is you can open it with one hand. You can either, you know, say your arm is, you know, out of use, you need to open this thing, you can either, you know, do that, pull it down, or lock it in your foot and pull it. Let's just do it like this. Deployable by one hand, opens up, and you have all your medical supplies in there. Going into this thing, I have a bunch of different stuff in here. It's all for trauma though. This is not a boo-boo kit. That's why it stays in my car, because I tried to like figure out, alright, what am I really going to use this for? Do I really need this in my backpack all the time, every day? Not really. So that's why I have a boo-boo kit, an IFAC boo-boo kit, separate from this. This is something that is going to be for an emergency only. Have massive trauma, somebody's going to die, or I'm going to die if you don't have these things here. So, you got some medical gloves up here. In a trauma situation, they'll even tell you during training or whatever, and EMT will tell you, paramedics will tell you, if somebody's dying, you're not going to really worry about gloves and sanitizing and stuff, just try to get it done and fix the person. If you have time to put gloves on, do it. But if you don't, you know, don't worry about all that stuff, infections or whatever. They'll take care of that at the hospital. Just kind of save the person's life. You have to know that people can sue you. You know what I mean? But that's just a risk you're gonna have to take. You're gonna have to make that decision. It's up to you. I know the risks, so you know. I don't need any comments about, you know, well, if you know you can't do that, people will sue you. I know, but you know, whatever. At least I'll be alive, and I'll have to live with that and deal with that later. That's the decision I'll make. Anyway, ibuprofen. I got 20 tablets in there. Aspirin, a triangle bandage. You can use that. A bunch of different things. Compression bandage to make another tourniquet, whatever. More Gorilla Tape. There's probably about 30 feet of it wrapped around this little bar right here. And that's it for that area. Over here, you have some hydrogen peroxide in a spray bottle. Alright. Let's put that there for now. A Sharpie marker. This is essential to have for your timestamp on your tourniquet. You're going to want to apply, write down the time that you applied the tourniquet. Another backup tourniquet. Can't have enough of these. SWAT tees. Double-sided compression bandage, like I said before. The tighter you make it is... Now, a SWAT tourniquet has one use. Cut off circulation. That has two uses, so they're good to have. Wound seal. Over here, I keep some zip ties, mini zip ties, in case you need to zip tie somebody's head together. You never know. Some chem lights. I have 2 of them. I put them in this tin foil so they don't go bad, although I'm not even sure that works, but because I took them out of the wrapper because the wrapper was just in the way. I'm not sure they'll even work. Maybe I should test them out once I get new ones. But I wrap them in a tin foil maybe just to keep them from dying out. Just a backup source of light. Oop. Keep some gauze. See how it says gauze on it? Gauze. So on this little front area. Crap. Diarrhea pills. And there's gonna be more. Just little wipey stuff to wipe. Alcohol prep pad. I need to make this stuff a little neater in here. Iodine prep pad, stuff like that. And then there's going to be some medical tape in there. I'm not going to pull it out. Back all the way back in there, you're going to see some more gauze. You can't have enough gauze in your trauma kit. Different kinds of gauzes. Then you got your Celox. That's going to fill a bad stab wound or something where you're not going to use a tourniquet, only for your limbs. You know, whatever. Bleeding out of the stomach or somewhere where a tourniquet can't reach. If it's not an exit wound, you're going to use this. Dump it in there, apply pressure for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Wound pack too if you need to, and then put a bandage. You save somebody's life with this. Some people are going to be allergic to this, but as I said before, you're going to have to make that decision if you're going to want to save their life or let them die because you're allergic to the fish ingredients that's in here. Most medical professionals, which I'm not, will tell you, save their life, worry about infections and allergic reactions later. This is a chest seal. It's actually the wrapper that's the chest seal. It'll double as one. It's not vented, but you can make it vented if you need to. Exit wound, enter wound, exit wound. You can make a chest seal out of a bunch of different things. You can make one even out of a card and some duct tape, if you want to. So, chest seal. NRA compression gauze. This thing will open up to a ton of gauze. I mean, it'll be a freaking big, huge thing. Then you have NRA trauma dressing. North American Rescue trauma dressing. This will open up to another big thing. You can wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and apply pressure and also stop somebody's bleeding. That's the main important thing about trauma, is stop the bleeding. Q-tips in case you need to dig in and clean. Make a splint. And another chem light. And that is your basic trauma kit. This thing here will save somebody's life if you have this. So it's good to have if you go to the shooting range and stuff like that. That's really it, guys. That's my little EDC pack. Some different kits that I use. Like I said, this one always stays in my pack. The trauma kit stays in the car. My IFAC stays in this little pack, and then I have the maxpedition one that stays in the car too, the survival kit. So that's just a bunch of different kits and pouches that you can use. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.